when you go out there, it feels funny because you actually know that people applauding you and stuff, and that you did it, and nobody's applauding to nobody else but you as you on the stage saying your poem and stuff.
And how did it feel?
Great.
I felt kind of scared when I got there. Felt like I wasn't going to be, like I was going to get embarrassed, like do something wrong. So, well, I got up on the stage and I did it, and when I came off, I felt proud of myself. I felt like I've achieved something.
It felt like I was a part of college. It felt good.
Well, I felt a little shy because I didn't know that all them people was gonna be there. And I stepped up on that platform. That man was right in front of me taking pictures, and I did not even know it. I was too busy staring at the wall. As soon as I stepped down, everybody started clapping so hard. I was like, what happened? I didn't feel scared after I went up on the platform, because you should never feel scared after you then have said something in front of all these people. At least now you will know that you will never have stage fright and never be scared or nervous or anything.
Harlem. Harlem is a place I'll keep in my heart. Harlem is a place that I got my start. Harlem is a place most people cry. Harlem is a place that'll never die. Harlem is a place most dealers stand. Harlem is a place people can't understand. But Harlem is a place I'll keep in my heart, because Harlem is a place they can never tear apart.
This is different because this is a rap. Stealing from your mother for the drug money, trying to support you and your honey. Stealing from your moms is something bad. Now you're putting all together the drugs that you had. Now you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I think you're better. You're thinking drugs are wrong, now you're thinking together. Pay attention to me and good people in your neighborhood. You're getting rid of your drugs, now you're doing something good.
The title of my poem is On a Saturday Morning. I was chilling down at the pool with my crew, me, Nathan, and Lewis. Getting ready to make a move, getting into the groove, chilling out of the sun, having a lot of fun.
Well, I like rap so much, something clicked in my head and said, write something about rap in your poem. So I just wrote that.
Now please listen to this.
The jaguar. The jaguar leaps from tree to tree and ignores its beauty of long big circles all around its body and long white teeth. Kapow! A shot from outside the forest. He is no more.
Winds. If I sit, I may see something I don't see, and see a hawk in flight. I hear the winds talking about important matters, such as the grass blowing and the reeds whistling. But we know the winds, we like them, the winds. The north wind like a clay pot on your cheek, blowing like a whistle by my ear.
We have student poets from IS 223 in Manhattan.
Slowly.
Raindrops in the spring. I can hear the birds chirping after so long. It's like being blind, but guided by their song. The color of the clouds so dull and gray. Raindrops on the trees sparkle, and the clouds fade. It's so beautiful and peaceful out there. At the trees, puddles, and birds, I stare.
Nightlit sky. The nightlit sky is like a black blanket, woven with such delicate silk.
and the stars must be teardrops placed in their own spaces, with the round face that watches them, giving off such a blaze that it makes them twinkle. More, more, more than a diamond, more than you could ever dream of.
We were chained in our minds, we were beaten to the ground, and still we lasted. We sang songs to cheer us up or to get through the pain, but all we knew, we could not give up. We used to be slaves, we tried to hold the pain. Some gave up.
We sang songs. Let's steal away, let's steal away, let's steal away to Jesus. My teacher used to tell me that it wasn't only the blacks that had hard times in those days. It was usually Hispanics also.
So in writing the poem, you felt like a unity?
Yes.
So what kind of role does poetry play in your life?
An important role.
Explain that.
Well, without poetry, we wouldn't be able to explain ourselves too easily. Because in poetry, you can explain yourself from the heart.
The name of my poem is called Being Black. Being black is a good thing to be. Being black is hard to be free. The chains from my brains, the chains from my feet. Being black is hard to be. But we can fight and break the chains free. Being black is all we can be. Oh God, being black is hard for me. Thank you.
Life. You live long, you live short. Everyone has their own life. You have a life, but not for long, then it goes and lives in your lawn. Everybody has a different life, a bad life, a good life, a sweet life, a neat life, a smart life, or dumb, you might think. You have a life, your own mighty life. Life is everything to you. Life depends on you. If you got sick, if you got the flu, then your life is sick. Your life doesn't work by itself. You can't sue your life. It stays the same, only if you want to change it. You have a life, and so does your wife.
Mousy, mousy, won't you come out of your little house, he said the cat. I can't come out and play with you. Won't you come in and play with me, said the mouse. I'm too thin under my chinny chin chin, so you will have to come out and play with me. So the mouse gave up and went out to play with the cat. And faster than lightning, the cat gobbled him up, and that was the last word the mouse ever said in his whole life. Thank you. I was in my house, and my cat Sam, he came out with this mouse in his mouth. And I just sat there and looked at it, and I started crying and see why did God make cats to eat mice, and who made the mice and stuff for the cats to eat. For the cats to eat the mice.
So if someone tells you, oh, poetry is dumb, what do you say to them?
I say that it isn't dumb, because if you running away or doing something bad, and you don't want to go up and tell your mother the reasons, you could tell somebody else, express your feelings in a different way.
Well, I would say to them, if poetry is stupid, how would you express yourself? And I suppose they probably won't give me an answer.
Would that stop you?
No.
Poetry is a way of release. It's a catharsis. I grew up on a steady diet of poets like Langston Hughes and Countee Cullen, Robert Frost, Shelley, Keats, and it was an immense source of joy and beauty and truth. So I'm like most of the children that spoke to you previously. I enjoy poetry for the immense beauty and chance for self-expression that it offers.
What do you think it means, like when second, third, fourth graders write and then being able to present their poetry?
It means they're normal human beings. Poetry is a normal human expression and a very, very international one. It's just that advertising tries to make it seem weird. It means our children are normal. They love poetry.
Coming. World saxophone quartet you cannot stand up against. Hell no, I ain't going to no Afghanistan. Leon Thomas, really, the old pygmies you cannot stand up against. Nor Black Arthur telling you like Blue Turner and Bale. That's the Odessa, romance can bloom, even here in white racist land. It can bloom as beautiful, though flawed by our oppression. It can bloom, bloom in the tradition of revolution, renaissance, negritude, blackness, negrismo, indigenismo sounding niggas, Swahili speaking niggas, niggas in turbans, the RNA, APP, APRP, CAP, Panther, blacks, assembly line, turpentine, mighty fine, female blacks, and cooks, truck drivers, coal miners, small farmers, iron, steel, and hospital workers in the tradition of us. The reality, not us, the narrow fantasy. In the tradition of African American black people, America, nigga, music almost all you got. And you find it much too hot. In the tradition, thank you, Arthur, for playing and saying, reminding us how deep, how old, how black, how sweet, how we is and bees. When we remember, when we are our memory as the projection of what is evolving in struggle, in passion, and pain, we become our sweet black selves once again. In the tradition, in the African American tradition, open us, yet bind us. Let all that is positive find us. We go into the future carrying a world of blackness, yet we have been in the world, and we have gained all of what there is and was, since the highest expression of the world is its total. And the universal is the entire collection of particulars. Ours is one particular, one tradition of love and suffering, truth over lies, and now we find ourselves in chains. The tradition says plainly to us, fight, plainly to us, fight. That's in it clearly. We are not meant to be slaves. It is a detour we have gone through and about to come out. In the tradition of gorgeous Africa blackness says to us, fight. It's all right. You beautiful as night. The tradition, thank you, Langston. Arthur says sing, says fight. In the tradition, always clarifying, always new in centuries, all says sing, fight, sing, fight, sing, fight, sing, fight, sing, fight. Death to the Klan. Thank you.
Well, the only advice I could give the young poets is to try to write, try to find out all the people who have written poetry, particularly people whose lives are similar to their own who've written poetry, and try to always focus their poetry on their own lives and connect their own lives with the lives of everybody else on the planet. They'll be doing good.
This experience will leave an indelible impression in all of your minds. And who's to say, perhaps this afternoon you have met the future Langston Hughes, the future Gwendolyn Brooks, the future Pulitzer Prize winners of poetry, the future poet laureates. Who's to say? Thank you. Dream Boogie. Good morning, Daddy. Ain't you heard the boogie-woogie rumble of a dream deferred? Listen closely, you'll hear their feet are beating out, beating out. Do you think that's a happy beat? Listen to it closely. Ain't you heard something underneath like a, what did I say? Sure, I'm happy. Take it away. Hey, pop, rebop, mop, yeah.